The trailer is finally here. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. Y'all, we are here to discuss the season 7 Love Island USA reunion trailer. If I'm being honest with you, the trailer was kind of lackluster. This wasn't that it wasn't good or didn't have any fireworks in it. I just think that we got too many things to discuss to have it jam-packed in that little bit. It's because it's a lot of stuff that I want to see discussed on the show. But we're gonna talk about the trailer. So we got Ariana Madix is hosting a reunion with Andy Cohen. Why is Andy there? Why is Andy there? I feel like Andy don't really be too invested in what's going on, and I'm really interested in knowing that Andy watched all of the episodes of Love Island USA to be knowledgeable enough to host this reunion along with Ariana. Because I did watch the After Sun. I know a lot of people say that they don't watch the After Sun. I do watch the After Sun, and you can tell that Ariana is actually watching the show. But it's her job. Me thinking about Ariana, this is my first time watching a reunion where a female is hosting a reunion. And so I really want to know what the thought process was when it went behind Ariana getting dressed for the reunion. I mean, we see Andy all the time, and he's a man, so he's always going to wear a suit, and the women are dressed up. But with Ariana, this is the first time we're seeing a dynamic where a woman is hosting a reunion, and there's going to be women on the stage. So it's kind of, I feel like it's going to be pressure for her when she gets dressed, because when she comes into the villa, she does look nice when she comes into the villa, but we have to understand that the girls are only dressed in bathing suits, right? Most of the time we only see them in bathing suits. So I'm wondering if she's going to step it all the way up. Do she want to be seen as the bride and all the island girls are going to be her bridesmaids? Like, what is the thought process behind her dressing at the reunion? I don't know. It was just something that was in my mind. But for the most part, everybody looked nice. But from the people that I saw, I think that Clark, from what I've seen, seems to be best dressed to me, from what I could see. We kind of got a glimpse of her standing up next to Taylor. She had an updo. You know, I'm a sucker for an updo. Her dress looked nice. You know, I love to see updos. I think that we saw the girls with their hair down all season because they was at the pool and stuff like that or whatever. So I think it's different. I saw that Huda and Jalen also had an updo. They both were wearing updos. They both looked nice. We couldn't really see much of their dresses or their outfits, but from the neck up, they did look good. I thought that Shelly also had a nice dress. We kind of saw Shelly backstage walking with Ace, looking like she was getting ready to walk on the reunion set. And we kind of seen her dress a little bit when she was sitting on the couch, and her dress looks really, really nice. I wish she would have had an updo with the dress on, because I felt like she would have killed that outfit, but she still looked good nonetheless. Most of the men looked nice. They were wearing suits. What the fuck did Chris have on, though? What did Chris have on? Chris looked raggedy to me. And I know Chris is 6'8", and I'm 6'6", so I feel like a lot of things with Chris, 6'8", and I still want to say that they say he was 250. A lot of things for him are going to have to be custom made. And if he was playing basketball overseas, I'm pretty sure that he can afford to dress up and look nice. He just looked thrown away, if I'm being honest with you, compared to what the other guys had on. I did notice that there is no Sierra and Yulisa. I feel like if they were going to be at the reunion, that they would have told us that they would have been at the reunion, or they would have showed them, or maybe they was there and I just didn't see them. From what I've seen, I didn't see Yulisa or Sierra there. They probably both will be sending videos in, and I'm pretty sure with Andy being there, he's probably going to ask them at a certain point, how did they feel about them leaving the villa? Because from what they said, and from interviews that I saw with some of the Islanders, they said they didn't really know they wasn't really told what was going on, except for they was leaving. So I want to know, I'm pretty sure Andy is going to ask them how they feel about what they were accused of. I know Nick said to Kiki that he doesn't really stand for what Sierra said. Now we got a couple of questions that was asked at the reunion. They asked Chris, how did he feel about what Huda said about him in the press? He said he didn't respect it. Now, what did Huda say? Now, I just finished binge watching all season 7 of Love Island USA. I saw the interview that she only saw one interview that Huda did, and she did it with Call Her Daddy. And the girl basically asked Huda, how does she feel about Chris running around telling everybody that he folded, basically that they was fucking. She said that she couldn't believe that he was running around telling people, because she had told him not to tell nobody. And that she was shocked that he was running around telling people because it was barely in, and it wasn't because she couldn't take it either. Now, I took that to mean that she was saying that it wasn't big. Whatever he had, it was no problem with me taking it. That wasn't why it wasn't all the way in. Or she was trying to say that, or she was kind of alluding to it was small, right? I feel like, hey, listen, if you're gonna go around and say that you smashed somebody, she has the right to respond and say whatever she needs to say back. Or if she hurts your feelings about, or you don't respect it, I respect it.
You should have kept your fucking mouth shut.
You should have kept your mouth closed. She wouldn't be going around saying stuff about your performance in the bed or lack thereof or lack of size in the bedroom if you didn't even bring it up. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Or how they used to say, you play pussy and you got fucked. Next, we see Hannah breaking down crying. And they ask her, what does it feel like to see that? Now, I have a feeling that they're talking about Pepe saying that his biggest connection in the house was with Iris in the finale. But she should be crying about her being caught on camera spitting in her hand and using it as lube.
You nasty.
I, for the life of me, still can't understand why these people are having sex in his house and there's cameras rolling. But they are young, right? I think that the younger generation have a whole different mindset than what we have, but there is no way that I would have been in that villa having sex on camera, especially with at least 10 other people in the room. You can't be quiet enough. And I'm sure that she was embarrassed, but you knew that there was cameras rolling. You knew that there were cameras rolling.
You stupid girl.
Next, we got Jeremiah. He said that, I was going through hell and you calling me a scammer. It seemed like he was talking to Ace. I'm pretty sure he was talking to Ace because Ace said that he thought that Jeremiah and Huda making an early connection was fake to him. But who is Ace that we have to prove anything to him? Then we got Ace saying for people to say that he's the only person responsible for sending the person home is crazy. From what I've seen on the show, it seemed to me that Ace had influence over the other men in the house, especially when it came to Taylor and Nick. I felt like that they were going to do. Now, Nick did give some type of pushback sometimes, but those was for little petty, minute things. But for the most part, it seems like that Taylor and Nick was going to follow anything that Ace said. I believe that Ace is the scammer. I believe that Ace was on this show for the money. I believe that Ace wanted Huda.
I'm sorry. I have to be honest about it.
And I think that Ace was threatened by Huda and Jeremiah making an early connection and moving like that they were going to be closed off so quick. I think that Ace felt like if America bought into their love story, meaning Huda and Jeremiah, that America probably would have picked them to win. And that would have messed up Ace's chance on winning the money. So he wanted to separate them at whatever cost. I do believe that. And I truly believe that if Ace and Shelly would have made it to the end and he had pulled that envelope the way Brian did, I believe that he would have kept that $100,000 and left Shelly over that crying pack. I really do believe that. Then we got Andy saying that Chris and Brian was out and Brian allegedly cheated. And Brian said that he had a lapse in judgment.
I don't know. Take what you want from that. That's what he said.
After watching the Maybelline challenge, I was real skeptical about the people in the house when it came to Amaya. It just seemed to me that since she was basically voted America's sweetheart, everybody's feelings in the house changed towards her. But before, it seemed like Ace had everybody against her. That's how I feel. Now, I know y'all are going to say that Brian stood up for her in the Stand on Business challenge. Yes, he did stand up for her, right? But he stood up for her because she was Spanish. I don't think that he stood up for her because he liked her. I feel like that is the same way that a Black person would have stood up for another Black person in the house. That doesn't necessarily mean I like you. But if I have to talk about what we do in our culture and it's being misconstrued with people in the house, then I'm going to step up and say something. That doesn't necessarily mean that I like you, I want to be with you. Now, he did split the money with her in the end, right? So I could be wrong, but I just side-eyed everybody. Then we got to get to the good stuff. Andy asked Huda about press interviews where she said that she felt bullied. Shelly said that Huda said that she wanted her to meet her daughter when they got out of there, and she was out of the villa, and she was excited for those moments. But when she got out, it was a complete switch. Alandria is crying and saying that shit hurt, bro. We was close. and you didn't speak up for me. And Huda is saying, I'm sorry, I truly am. For me, a person who watches a lot of Real Housewives, the women always say that they go through the emotions 3 times. They say that they go through it when they go through it in real time, they go through it when it airs, and then they go through it at the reunion. I think that some of the things that the girls went through in the house are being brought up in interviews. And even though they may have gotten over it, it's being brought up again because we want answers, and it opens up the wound again. Now, for me, again, I just finished watching the show on Tuesday. So in the interviews that I saw, I never really saw any of the Islanders bash each other. I think that they would ask questions about what happened in the house. I didn't even see the interview or the press interview where Hula said that she was bullied or she felt like that she was bullied. Me not watching the show when it aired and seeing some of the content online about Love Island USA pertaining to the girls specifically, it seems like that a lot of things on the show had a lot of racial undertones. That's just how I felt. It felt like it was a lot of racial undertones with the things that were with the things that were being said online. Now, do I think that Huda was being bullied in the house? No. I think that Huda was unhinged in the house, and I don't think that Huda was being called out enough by the people in the house, especially when it came to her and Jeremiah. I think that she was unhinged and she was saying things and she was behaving in a way that, if I'm being honest with you, a Black girl wouldn't be able to behave like that. I do think that it was unfair for the Islanders to call out Huda for not being the girl's girl and not Alondria for kissing and coupling with Nick.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
Because the same way she cried saying that she was close to Huda, one could say that she was close to Ciara too.
Like what?
Boom.
Like,
That's the reason why.
And that's just seemed to be just dead and gone with the wind. And so if Huda's not a girl's girl, the way that I see it, Alondria is not a girl's girl neither. But this is not Girls Island USA. Then Ariana says that we're going to get an unseen extended version of the Heart Rate Challenge. I am so happy that we get a chance to see this. You know, matter of fact, I just wish that they would give us a whole episode of the challenge from the beginning of the challenge to the end of the challenge. Even if it's over an hour, we will sit there and watch, I'm sure. Now, I'm trying to have an open mind, but to me, unless I see Huda pull her panties to the side while she was twerking on Ace, or unless she pull out a titty or something, I don't think that my view would change. I think that it was just a challenge. And I think that Shelly got caught in her feelings. Alondria was twerking on Taylor. Ace ended up kissing Clark. He didn't have to kiss Clark because the rules of the Heart Rate Challenge was not for him to go and kiss every girl like past challenges have been. He kissed at Clark because that's what he wanted to do. It seemed like it was a challenge where anything goes. Then we got a clip of Andrina saying, I don't even know what to say. I feel like that Andrina probably went a little bit too far in the challenge as well. From what I saw, Andrina looked like she had eyes just for P.P. in that challenge, and she went straight for him, and she did not let up. Those are my thoughts for the reunion. What did y'all think about the trailer? What are y'all looking forward to the Islanders hashing out at the reunion? For me, I know it is this Heart Rate Challenge. I really want to see what was going on with this Heart Rate Challenge. But y'all, that's all I got for right now. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate the love and support, and I'll see y'all later. Adios.